Hi, everybody. So today we're going to look at the artist Claude Monet, and we're going to look for inspiration in his garden. And in his garden in Giverny in Paris, in France, he had this beautiful Japanese footbridge, and it was a bridge that went over the pond. And if you visit the New York Botanical Gardens, it's big. It has so many different types of flowers and paths. His garden was very big. It wasn't like a little patch, it was very big. It even had this pond with this Japanese footbridge going across it. So, one of the things, if you're looking at the footbridge here, is that you're going to notice that shape, that curvy shape. It's almost like a windshield wiper. So we're going to have to loosen up our hand to get that shape. I'm going to show you how to do that. So when I draw, sometimes I try to draw like this and I pull it across, and other times I try to use more of my wrist. So this time I'm going to kind of lay my hand in the middle and I'm going to go straight across. Maybe make it a little darker. Oops. And I'm going to do the same thing down here. I'm going to put my hand in the middle and I'm going to go from one side over to the other. So it's curvy, but we still want to be able to walk across it. If we make it too curvy, like an upside down U, it'd be very hard to walk across. So now I'm going to take a parallel line. That means a line that runs right next to it, like that for the bottom. And I'm going to do the same thing for the top, and this is going to be the thing that is closest to us. It's in what we call the foreground. And so we're going to put that extra slat right here in the middle. You could do it the same way, or you could just fill a parallel line in there like that. And so I've made the top part of the bridge, the bottom part of the bridge, and the piece that holds it together. So I'm going to use some vertical lines, and they're going to stay vertical. So they're always going up and down, even though it curves. So make the vertical lines, vertical lines. Here we go. And this is going to be the beautiful bridge. And if you've ever heard the story of Linnea in Monet's garden, there's a picture of her standing right on the bridge in here, right about here. Even a picture exists of Claude Monet standing on the footbridge in his garden. When he got very old, it was very, very hard for him to see. He painted this bridge, whether it was winter, spring, summer, or fall. He liked to draw it even when he was young and when he was older, when his eyes were not so good anymore. He loved this bridge over his garden. So I'm going to make these little areas of where I'm going to put grass. And those are going to be like long, skinny triangles. Some pond grass. Maybe you've been to Wave Hill too, and you see that tall, tall grass near the pond. Make some different sizes that go behind it, maybe a little taller. I'm going to fill it up. There we go. Maybe over a little. And I might even add something called a cattail. It kind of is this long, and it has this little oval on it like that. I might even add a few of them long, this little oval on it. You could add flowers too, which is what we're going to look at, his water lilies on his pond. So I'm going to draw where the background is, that horizon line back here. So this is the ground and this is the sky. And in his garden, it's so full of flowers and foliage that sometimes it's even hard to see where the ground and the sky meet, the horizon line. So I'm going to fill this with these ovals. And when they're closer to me, they're going to be bigger. And as they move toward the horizon, they're going to get smaller. We call that perspective. I'm going to fill it with lily pads like this. And then I'm going to add flowers on top, and they're going to look like the letter U first. And then I could do zigzags across the top. That's one way of drawing it. I put it right on the lily pad. Or you could make it like a U, and then you could just pull it in and in and in like that. And not every lily pad needs to have a flower on it. That's up to you. I'm going to make almost like that star or that snowflake pattern to make it look like the lily pad. I'm going to draw a beautiful lily right here. Now I'm drawing in marker so you can see right through, but when I color it, that won't be a problem. So after I finish that, I want to think about the background. So I'm going to just make some bushes off in the background behind my footbridge, bouncy lines, like that. And there's some bushes. And then I'm going to make a giant tree, and it's going to be like the tree is hanging right over the top. I'm going to make more clouds. Maybe it's even leaning on top of the bridge, the top part of the flower. Maybe I'll make it look like some branches with the letter Y, right? I could add more branches in there. So you can just see the top because the rest of it goes right off the page. And now I might even want to make some some birds flying overhead. Maybe they're looking for a place to visit and land, kind of like the letter M. And I even sometimes like to make it look like there's this willow tree where there's parts hanging down like this. Ooh, I'm going to make those green so that hardly any of the sky can be seen. It's so green in here. And then when I'm all done, it's time to add color and write my name. And one of the things you're going to notice about Claude Monet's beautiful garden is that there is so much green, more green than you can ever imagine. So dark greens, light greens. So this is a chance for you to really go into that crayon box if you have it and look for all those greens, some dark greens, some light green, some minty greens, some yellow greens. Oh, so many. Oops. How many ever greens you can find, and I still could find more. Then it's time to add some color. I'm going to color in some light. I might even use my paint. I'm going around my lily pads right now. And you're going to say, well, the sky, I was going to do it blue. Sure, but don't forget the greenery up there. And you could add more tree types of grass. You could add more grass to your pond or anything. You could add a frog, right? Frog could be looking for that lily pad. So I added some green there. I'm going to add a little bit more. I'm going to mix my colors. And that's going to make it look like shadow and light. Claude Monet loved to paint outdoors. He loved the way it looked when light reflected on things. So a lot of his pictures, you're going to see the same color from dark to light so that it feels like you are outside in nature. Let me just, where's my brush? Where are you, brush? I'm going to add some green paint on top of my crayon to see how that looks. You might like it. You might have a different idea. I'm going to take some green. Go, oh yeah, see when I use it on top of my crayon, it'll only stick where I didn't put crayon. So right now you see how it's kind of bubbling up? It almost looks like that pond water. And you're probably saying, water that's green? But it's reflecting so much of all the greenery around them. So I'm going to make my water some green, and then I'm going to mix in some blue too. Oh yes, some blue. So it's some blues and some greens, and sometimes ponds are even a little bit brown. You can do that too. I'm going to put my blue on top of the green to make it look like you can see some of the sky and some of the reflection of the trees and the greenery all around. I love the way the blue and the green look together. Do you? There we go, all the way over, even in here between the grass. I have to go color that grass too. Probably would have been a good idea for me to color the grass first, but not a big deal. And then I'm going to think about what color do I want it back here. Maybe I'm going to go really dark green right here. It's so dark it almost looks blue-green. I'm going to pat the color on. Sometimes we can use our brushes in different ways. So this time I'm patting the color on, and then it makes it dark in some areas when it pulls up and light in others. I might switch to a different shade of green and mix it. Oh yes, I like that a lot. Blending, 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 blending. Do you think that looks finished to you? I feel like I need so much more. I want to add the green to the tree. Let me add some more green here. I want to maybe try a different shade of green. Yeah, oh, it's a little lighter. Maybe more light. Sunlight is hitting it. Oh, so much to do. So much to do. Blending colors again. Tapping my brush instead of pulling it. Let's see how it looks when I pull it. You might like that look too. Works. Works. Then I want to make sure I get in there with these, like that willow tree. It's just bending over. Some of the leaves are hanging down. And then I might say, I'm going to make my sky in the background a little bit of a different blue. Now you see I'm going very fast. Do you think you have to go fast? Nope. But I'm just actually, I want to make sure you can see how to use your brush differently. Oops. And you know what? When I rush, sometimes I don't do my best work. Do you find that sometimes when you're in a rush, you don't do your best work? Like right now, look what I noticed. I left all of this, and that's supposed to be green. I've got to go back and add some green because it's the bottom of the trees, the bottom of the bushes. And then I'm going to go in and give some here and here and here, all the grass. And then I'm going to add my details to my water lilies, some green. And water lilies come in a variety of colors. I'll finish the green in a minute, but look, I'm going to go for some magenta and see how that looks. Some magenta. Yep, I like it. I like it. And I'm going to keep on going. So good luck to you. I hope you enjoy making a footbridge as well. And think about other details you could add. Like you notice I didn't finish the bridge. Maybe I want to go in and I want to color parts of the bridge. Give that a try. You can also go in and add shadow and light. So much to do in your beautiful, beautiful picture of nature. So many cool, cool colors. I look forward to seeing yours.